Peace with the hair grease. I am Nine, and welcome to my channel at YouTube. I am Nine at Year 10. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you haven't already, hit likes and get these videos. And as you can see, it's hailing, but it's still a beautiful day. See how we was taught from the images that we saw. We was thinking hell and dark days like this meant it's gonna be a bad day. This might be the day you manifest something beautiful. It is the 21st. But yeah, a lot of my subscribers are people that are like me. Like we're followers of each other. You know what I'm saying? We correct each other, we check each other, we teach each other, we enlighten each other. So we understand each other. You know what I'm saying? We get each other. We trying to help in every way I can. And a lot of people be asking me like what made me change my ways or how I view things. And more times than not, I ain't be knowing how to answer that question. Because I've changed a long time ago is how I be looking at it like what they mean when I changed and when I became like this. You know, so I guess they just now noticing, or I'm just now opening up more to people. But yeah, I've been changed a minute, but change isn't how long you've changed. It's like how long you've been changing. It's a process. It's evolution. You don't just change overnight, or you don't just change in 10 years. It's a constant process because if you're not conscious, 1 second, one mistake, one person could rub you on anything, can take you back to where you came from. And what I mean by that, I mean the mind state, mind frame. You can snap on something. You can, So you gotta constantly stay conscious of all things, of everything. You see, on some real talk, there's no one that we're around more than we're around ourselves. Like, and that's just real. We're not around no one else more than we're around ourselves. But we'll spend the majority of our time trying to figure out other people and everything else and everybody else besides figuring out yourself, the person that you with all the time. Ain't that something? But once you start getting to know yourself, paying attention to yourself, loving on yourself, and spending time with yourself, you'll go to knowing yourself and you'll know the things that rub you wrong. What you mean, need to spend the time with myself? I mean, like when you're alone, not wasting your time on games and the internet and TV or something that'll distract you from being alone with yourself. You're alone with yourself for a reason, to enjoy yourself, to enjoy the small amount of time that you have around yourself to collect your thoughts, to replay things that happen throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the years, to reflect where you at on your journey in life. You only can do that when you're around yourself, and you can replay the things that you messed up in and the things when you let people rub you wrong. Because you can sit back and reflect like, that's what happened then. Because you stepping outside of yourself. You got time to do that. We by ourselves, it's perfect time to reflect on how we felt last time when we got in that argument and it turned into a scuffle, or we let that person rub us wrong. We can reflect when we lost our cool and embarrassed ourselves that one time in public. We alone, we can reflect on how we circulated maybe too much money, or maybe we tricked off on the wrong things. You know, when we in the midst of it, we can't reflect. Do these things so when we run across these encounters again, we can be like, oh, I remember this. I reflected on this when I was by myself having my alone time. I was thinking about this. And now I can approach it in a different manner. Because it's the same situation, but I'm going to handle it different because I already reflected what I'm going to do next time I run across something like this again. That's like basically what you gonna have to do. Get around yourself and reflect on your mistakes, on the times you let other people puppet you, on the times you don't let other people get over on you, or on the times you don't really just got over on yourself. Like, you gotta have time to reflect to change, or you're gonna stay in the same loop of things if you don't sit and think about your actions and your reactions to other people. Like, if you on a journey to elevate and to change how you used to think, you can't act the way you used to act. Like, you gotta overlook some people sometime. Most of the time, excuse me. You're gonna have to overlook people most of the time. Like, if you used to acting a fool when people staring at you, you're gonna have to kind of look off. Maybe look back and see if they still looking, but at least give them that chance to turn off when you look off. If you're a person that ain't used to people talking crazy to you, the best way to handle that is to move around. Be the better person by moving around. You know what I mean? Let them have that. Because they can have that by themselves. I learned to how to move around. Even letting people get the last word, knowing they wrong. I used to have a problem with letting people get the last word when I know they wrong. Like, man, how you gonna tell me some, or how you gonna say, and you on some bullshit. But now, I'm like, man, they on some bullshit, and I don't give a fuck, because they don't give a fuck. So I don't let their bullshit affect me. I really sidestep and be like, oh, this what they on. I feel it. I feel them finna upset me, or I feel them trying to upset me. So what I do, I'm consciously being like, man, do not let these people upset you. Do not let this person get to you. Do not, you know what I'm saying? Do not feed into this. I'm consciously, and then you can look at the person like they crazy. Like, look at them like, man, and sidestep it. Get up out of there. Keep it real. I be letting people win. You know what I mean? I be letting people win as long as they ain't just disrespecting me, because I'm no coward. Being peaceful don't mean being no coward. You have to demand your respect, your self-respect. But once you have that self-respect, it's going to illuminate out anyway. Like, once you start respecting yourself and becoming in tune with yourself and knowing yourself, you don't even run into the same problems you was running into when you wasn't in tune with yourself. Because what you put in is what comes out. Like eating food, water, you know what I mean? Working out, work, just anything. What you put in is what you get out. So that's like energy for sure. So once you go to changing how you think and how you act and how you react and how you look at things, really, how you look at things is changing everything else. So, say that in reverse. You feel what I'm saying? Once you change how you look at things, once you change your perspective on things, things start to change around you for the better. Or if you on the negative tip, things around you become even more negative. Like, it's real. On how you think, it's what you attract and what you got coming. And another thing we gotta do is practice smiling. Practice smiling, because where we come from, and if you come from where I come from, and that's the lower bottoms. Well, it's a defense mechanism to walk around with the straight face, with the don't mess with me, with not today, with the I'm not in the mood, with the I ain't got it to borrow, with the don't mess with me face, and we become accustomed to that look. And whether we realize it or not, if we really not having that attitude, that facial expression can create that attitude. That facial expression can create that attitude. Like, for example, if I'm always looking serious, unapproachable, That's what I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting that unapproachable look, that unapproachable manner, that unapproachable attitude. To where I'm not speaking, people getting out of my way, people looking at me crazy. I'm looking at people crazy, and I don't even know why. Because I ain't even feeling like that. But I'm so used to having this facial expression that that's what's going on. I'm mobbing, I'm moving around, I'm just posted with this serious facial expression. And as I already said before, that frowning, that looking upset when you're not upset is a defense mechanism. And once you become in tune with yourself, once you find a whole nother level of confidence, you're not worried about being unapproachable. You're not worried about trying to scare somebody off, because you know that could attract the wrong attention. As I was saying, you might not even be feeling like that and attract that kind of attention to you. You know what I mean? Yeah, so we gotta practice smiling at the little things. Open ourselves up to laugh if something's funny, you know. Laugh big. You don't gotta smirk. Like, open up, smile, and letting yourself relax more. And besides that, frowning, you see that? Not with the do-rag to put on my forehead. I'm upset about that too. But you see these crinkles in my face? Looking like this all the time, it's like smoking cigarettes. Like people that smoke cigarettes got them little cracks in their face. When you frown, it increases your wrinkles. It ages you. Okay, so we got to change in how we think. We got to change in how we look. What's next, Nine? What's next is changing where we at. Our location. We can't change how we think, change how we look, change how we move and be moving around the same place. Like, literally, we gotta remove ourselves from the problem. We can't be a new person in the same old surrounding. Like, we gotta put ourselves in different places, around different people. Because while you're going through your reinvention, this is a time of learning. This is a time of elevating. And how you elevate is through here. So you got to surround yourself with people that you can learn from, people that's willing to teach. Not nobody that's just teaching bullshit, but somebody that's living, and you can actually see the success in the lifestyle of how they're living. Now is the time to surround yourself around people that's on the entrepreneur tip. We can't be on the block. We can't be sitting there waiting on the sale. We can't be sitting there hoping we don't sell to the police, hoping the police don't come, or hoping nobody set us up. And we can't be sitting there waiting on the robbery. We gotta be sitting there building something that's gonna last. Because all the things I just named is temporary. Trust me, I know. I did 15 trafficking, remember? It's the time to build something, longevity, come together with bosses and build empires. It's the time to change how you think, change how you act, and change how you move. And when I say changing your surroundings, I'm dead ass serious. Like, say for instance, you could be in one state, and it's no coincidence that every state you can name, California, Michigan, Oklahoma, anywhere you can name cities, and you know cities is turned up, and it might be a neighboring cities or towns that's peaceful, that's loving, that's harmony's flowing. But you might cross this border and be somewhere where boom, boom, gunshots and murders and robberies, and everybody is just low frequency, because that's what's in the ether, that's what's in the air. that's like literally what's going on. Like the energy, like it's more people in that area that's vibrating on the same frequency. You feel what I'm saying? So like if it's one person that's on one, that person done turned another person, that done turned another person, that done turned another person on one, which is fucking up other people's day and just low frequency. It's a dark cloud over them because ether is the oxygen, the air that's over the cloud. So when they say dark cloud, that be kind of real. You might be staying in a place or area that has a dark cloud. You might need to start saving up your money and checking out different areas. If you can't leave the state, if you want to stay close to your family, just change the neighboring town or the city because it might be something in the air of your place that's never gonna change. So it's gonna be hard for you to change it's gonna be hard for you to change if you in a town or a city that the frequency, that the vibration is low, and that it's something in the air that got everybody tripping because that's just what's going on. It's just gonna be a continuing cycle, and you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have bad days because it's gonna be always something around you to rub you wrong or to set you off because you don't have as many people on your same level or your same energy vibrating with you to turn the rest of these people. So the best thing for you to do is to abort mission, pack up and leave. That's changing your surroundings. It goes with everything else that I'm talking about in this video. The thinking, the look, the surroundings, the lifestyle, the success.